There we go. Hi, you guys. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. This is exciting. My name is Tammy Evans, and I'm a presidential with It Works. Obviously, It Works. And we got Kim Chipak. That's how you say it, right? Chipak?
Yes, yeah, we'll
Okay.
go with that.
What do you say? How do you say it?
Chipak, so emphasis on the chip,
Chipak.
second emphasis on the ack.
And
Chipak.
we do it we say it differently down here, I'm sure. And we just decided like last week, to join forces because there's things that Kim can really offer my team, especially some of the younger um, distributors, and then for her team, just the long time that I've been in, and a lot of things that I've seen and done, and things that I've done right and done wrong, that we can just help each other. And that's what's awesome about this business, is these relationships that you get to form with people outside of your direct downlines and uplines, and just get to have fun and learn from each other. So with that said, we're kind of going to do this is how I think we should do it, is we'll tell a brief snippet of our story each. We'll do that. And then we have some questions that the teams have asked for the other person. So I have questions that people asked for Kim to answer, and she has some questions. And we'll just kind of follow that pattern. And if you have any other questions, feel free to use the chat, ask the questions, and if we could get to them. I don't like having super, super long Zooms. Like, I think after about 30, 45 minutes, I know my brain stops working because I'm kind of like that. And so we'll try to keep it under that. And then those of you up north, since it's like 9 o'clock at night already, you don't want to be on until midnight. Or you might, I don't know. If you want to stay on, you could. But with that said, Kim, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your It Works story.
Okay, hey guys, how are you? I'm Kim, obviously, and I am 24. I'm from New Jersey. I started this business 2 years ago. And yeah, I'm a double diamond. So my journey kind of went pretty fast at first. It was like, fast paced when I first started. And then I was a student. I was interviewing for big girl jobs. I never really had a passion for any like career path. So I chose business in college because I knew I liked that there was no cap on sales and stuff. So I always knew I wanted to do something in the sales market. So when I did get my full-time job as a medical device sales rep, that was a sales job. It's exactly what I was asking for. But it was very corporate and very ingenuine because I had never tried the product that I was trying to sell to these doctors before. And with that being said, it just wasn't really fulfilling. That's when It Works kind of landed in my lap. I found it on social media from somebody that I knew in high school. She was actually my boss at my high school job, at my retail job. We remained connected on social media, and I watched her for 8 months before starting with her. So my interest was in the product first. I was really interested in the hair, skin, nails. But being that she was my boss for my high school job, I was really intimidated by her, so I just never reached out. But I always found myself going to her website, and without liking or commenting any of her pictures, I just reached out to her one day when I saw that she was making all these bonuses, because I saw her and I was like, well, I can do this on the side too. 4 months later, was able to go diamond, and 5 months in, I believe, is when I quit I went on the It Works cruise, the first It Works cruise, and that's where I caught the vision. I actually went on the cruise by myself, so you guys don't have any excuses to not even go to a one team, one mission with your team, because I went on a freaking cruise by myself. I flew for the first time by myself, and I just met people along the way. It was really cool. I got to know a lot of different people, and that's where I caught the vision. I came home and I quit my corporate job. With that being said, I really wanted to ramp up and make this a real full-time gig because I didn't have much support in the beginning. My family, my friends, they really kind of just were like laughing at me and said, like, I landed such a good career with medical benefits and, great salary plus commission. Why would I ever even try to do this full time, but I made that my motivation and never looked back. So although I didn't have the support from the beginning, again, like I made that my motivation to prove them wrong, and it's been one hell of a ride. I mean, it's been amazing. So I hit double diamond after just under a year, I think. I came out of conference last year. I hit double diamond, and I work my business primarily through social media. So that's how I enjoy doing it. I have done wrap parties and things like that I'll talk to you guys about in a little bit. But social media is where I have the most fun. It's easy for me to express myself that way. And I mean, I found great success with it. So I'm excited to share with you guys all of my tips about that and answer your questions.
Sorry, I muted myself because you never know in this house who's going
You're good.
noise. Awesome. Okay, so did you tell them your age when you started?
I was 22 when I started, and I'm 24 now. I'm going to be 25 in less than a month. So
okay.
I'm hoping that I can go triple for my birthday. That'd be a great present.
That would be a perfect present. To be 25 again. Okay. So, that's Kim's story. Awesome. Mine a little bit different just because of phases of life. I started 5.5 years ago. Yeah, 5.5 years ago, almost 6 years ago. And when I started, I was a single mom to a 5-month-old baby boy. He was almost 5 months old, between 4 and 5. And really, I had a great job, public relations and marketing. I had been doing that forever. And I just needed, okay. My best friend signed up. She told me, hey, I'm going to start selling the skinny wrap. You need to do it too. And I was like, okay, what's a skinny wrap? And she didn't know either. She was like, I don't know. It's a wrap that makes you skinny, but if I'm going to do it, you have to do it with me. And we need to do something to make money instead of spend money. So I was like, whatever, fine. Her sister-in-law was doing it. She called me, signed me up. I got my box in. And it wasn't even a box back then, you guys. So just let that sink in. It was like a little folder of stuff. I got my box in. It sat on my table for 2 weeks. Her sister-in-law said, I'm going to be in town. I'm going to go ahead and, train y'all. And she said, bring your folder, bring your kit. And so I brought my kit. She pulled out a wrap and she started wrapping my best friend. And I was like, oh, that's what those are. I had no clue what this stuff was in my box. And social media wasn't like it was. We didn't have these like support group pages. We didn't have any place to go. There were no chats really. So it was just a completely different whatever. So she started talking to us, and she was an emerald. She was making the big bucks, right? In my mind, she was making the big bucks selling some skinny wraps. And so she trained us, and that night, my mom was with me because she helped me a lot because, again, single mom. I said, hey, if I can make $500, that will pay for childcare, and I won't have to struggle every month at the end of the month. I mean, I had a good job. Everything was fine, but I just, there was no wiggle room. There was not a lot of extras that we could do. And so I started, and I made $500 probably in wrap cash in the first the first month, and then commissions. And I was just paying my sitter in cash. And she actually ended up joining because she was like, she's paying me in cash. What is she doing? But got to triple fairly fast. I'm going to say within 14 or 15 months. It's not super fast. Like people came in and they do it a lot faster now. But I did it in 14, 15 months. And then I sat there for 14 or 15 months. And here's the part of the journey that a lot of, I think, distributors need to hear, but also the part that stinks. And I was talking to Kim about this last week is, y'all, I'm going to see faces really fast before I do this. How many of you have seen a triple diamond chart? Right? So not very many. Let's say a triple diamond is, oh wait, I have it right here. A triple diamond is 96 distributors, okay? So just 96 distributors. I got to triple, so I had these 96. There's more than that because of people that fall off. Well, the team that got me to presidential is 191 distributors. Out of those 96, only one of them was on my presidential chart. So I literally got a whole new team after going triple to get me to presidential. And so there was a lot of rebuilding. There was a lot of heartache. There was a lot of struggle. There was a lot of disappointment. There were a lot of times I wanted to throw in the towel because 95 people quit on me, right? Including a double diamond and 5 diamonds. They didn't see the long-term vision. They quit. And so I just had to plug away and plug away and plug away. But that's the joy of this business, is it's going to go up and down, and it's fine. But as long as you are staying consistent in what you're doing, because if I would have given up, y'all, I would have given up on the life that I have now, the consistent 5-figure a month check, the trips, all of these things that go with it. And so we get now I'm preaching, now I'm on a soapbox, but don't get hung up on the one person that leaves your business or goes away, all right? It's going to happen. It's part of it. Focus on the ones that are still here. And that one that was on my chart ended up being a diamond on my presidential chart. She was only a 400 box when I went triple. Okay? So you're going to have those ups and downs. But basically, that's my story in a nutshell. Is I got to triple fast. I sat there. I learned a lot of lessons. I did a lot of things wrong. I do a lot of coaching with people, diamonds, double diamonds, triple diamonds that have potentially lost rank, or they're finding themselves rebuilding. Because when we started, and Ashley and I were just talking about this the other day. She was here at my house, and we were talking about when we started, there was no one to go to. Ashley was the 5th ambassador in the company. Think about that. The 5th ambassador. Now there's over 100. So when we started, and I started like a month after her, a month or two, there was no one that had gone through ups and downs of business. I mean, there might have been 5 ambassadors that you could have talked to about the struggles of losing rank, going this, going that, and it wasn't something that people talked about. So we were just kind of figuring it out on our own. Now you have so many resources to tap into and so many people that can share what they did, what worked, what didn't work. At that time, it was kind of like, I don't know, let's just figure it out. So we didn't have things like this that you could learn from. It's awesome. Plug in. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Now, Kim, what do you want to do next?
No, and I just wanted to point out, like, there's so many things I loved about that, but guys, take advantage of us. Like, you have people in your upline that are willing to lock arms with you and really help you, and take it to the next level. So be vocal about your goals. Like, tell your upline what your goals are for the week, even the month, the day, not just the year or where you want to be at the end, but you have to set those small goals, and your upline is here to help you. And if your direct one isn't, then Tammy and I are. And that's what we're so excited about, because being so passionate about the company and everything it's done for us so far, it's just hard not to want it for everybody else as well. So what do you want to do? I mean, I don't know. What are one of the questions that your girls wanted to?
All right. Let's do that. Let's ping pong some questions back and forth. And in that way, we will probably cover everything. And here's the other thing, you guys. Kim and I, obviously different backgrounds, different ways of how we started what we did, but I'm learning from her every day. I'm like, hey, will you teach me how to do this? That is the cool thing of this business, is what worked for me 5 years ago is not going to work for me right now. It's ever changing and ever evolving. And so I go and I seek out people. I don't care if they are a distributor all the way up to ambassador. I will seek them out and be like, hey, will you coach me? Will you teach me? I'm not sure what I have to offer you right now, but I'll help you and do whatever you need. And so we would not answer these questions the same way, probably. And there's different things that we would do. And so my team, my people, they're pretty used to hearing, I'm sure they're sick of hearing the things that I have to say, because Emily's saying, no, we love hearing it still. Because to me, it's like a broken record. I've been saying the same thing for 5.5 years, but I have to remember that some people, this is their first time hearing it. And that's something big I want y'all to take. When you're posting and you are saying the same things over and over, and you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over, if you are growing your network every single day, there are people that are seeing that for the very first time. And that is something that you have to remember. And if you are growing your team, if you have to tell someone what a loyal customer is, if you have to say that 10 times a day with your teams on chats, you have to remember that these people, some of them, it's the first time they've ever heard it. And so you just have to get really good at doing the same things over and over with joy every single day, because that's all this business is. And okay, let's get to questions. Let's see. Okay, this is a good one, talking about growing your network every day.
Okay.
And this is kind of like 2 or 3 questions in one, so we might have to break it up.
Okay.
How many people are you adding daily? How many warm messages do you usually send out daily? And then let's answer that, and then I'll come to the third part. So how many people do you add daily, and warm messages do you send out?
Okay, guys, we didn't even like prep these questions, so you're getting raw answers from us, okay? I mean, I would love to say I'm the most consistent person ever and I'm so organized, but to be honest with you, every day it's different. What I aim to do every day, Facebook, I know that you're allowed to add up to 30 people a day. I would be overwhelmed if I did that, but if you are ready for a promotion, you're ready to go and grow your network, I would suggest you do all 30, 20 to 30. I add about 5 to 10 new friends on Facebook a day. I get them from friends of friends or in groups that I am associated, that I have similar interests in, like, all those groups that I'm sure Tammy's talked to you guys about that. Your interests, like, part of your brand. I don't want to get into that because you guys probably already know that, because I know I've talked about it with my team as well. But yeah, so groups on Facebook, I connect with people and I add them. Also on just friends of friends, just go to a girl that's on your newsfeed and click her friends and add 5 of them. It's really that simple, and it takes all of 10 seconds. So definitely commit to doing that, because that's definitely an income producing activity, is growing your network. That's going to get yourself in front of as many people as possible. On Instagram, sheesh. Megan was with me today working, and how many did I add? Like 300 to 400. Like, I set an alarm every hour and I added 100 people. Now, don't go and do that just like tomorrow out of the blue, because Instagram will flag you and take you down. You have to warm up your account. So start smaller. There's days of the week, but I do that every day, and I fluctuate in how many I add. Today I added 300 to 400 people just because I hadn't done that in a week. I wasn't concentrating on that the past week. I was concentrated on posts and follow-up and messaging, not so much growing my network on Instagram. So again, I'm super inconsistent, but if you want to, there's 2 different ways to promote yourself and your business, I feel. And one of them is by attraction marketing, and that's more up my alley. Like, that's the kind of brand that I want to be represented as, like an inspiration. Like, I want people coming to me wanting the products in the business rather than me sending out messages. However, it takes a long time to get to that point. So make sure that you're branding yourself so that people are following you back, and start small. Even if you have your alarm set for like 3 times throughout the day where you just stop and follow 20 people, then do that. I find them through hashtags. I find them through my explore page. You can look up like a celebrity or something, I don't know, somebody that you can relate to, whether it's like an athlete or like an actress, and you just go to their picture and start like adding the people that are liking their photos and stuff, because those are usually real people. Boutiques you can go to. And that's how I find my people, but I'm really inconsistent with that. But I make sure I do it a lot.
Awesome. Okay.
What was that third question, though?
What is your favorite answer to the question, what exactly do you do to make money? So
I've been super into, well, obviously, I think we've all learned to keep it more simple than send paragraphs of information. At least I learned that the hard way, because nobody told me that. And then I'd wonder why like nobody would answer me. Building that relationship first. So like when they ask me, so what exactly do you do? I throw it back at them and I say, well, what do you do for a living? What's your lifestyle like? Do you have, and I ask them about them so that they can open up and get to trust me more when I give them my answer about what I do. So after we've had that small conversation of small talk, and I just relate to a few of their pictures or something like, oh, I just saw you were on vacation. That looked like so much fun. Anything like that. My favorite thing to say recently is that we're brand reps, because that sounds way more attractive than I'm a network marketer, or I'm even a distributor, or I sell things, you know, like I advertise things, because that sounds like a lot of work, right? I mean, trust me, if you want to make money with this, it is going to be work. But to start it off small and then get a feel for what they're looking for, I've been using the term brand rep because it sounds more like, okay, so we get this awesome discount off these products if we post about them. You know, it's not that bad of a gig, and it doesn't sound like salesy or anything like that, because that's what everybody's afraid of. So after making that small talk, that's been my biggest thing, is I've just been like, oh, I'm a brand rep. I never say it works, because unfortunately, like, I don't believe it's a bad name or we have a bad rep, but other people do because of the way people market it. So I just say I'm a brand rep for a health and wellness and beauty company, and we pretty much just get paid to share our discount for the products, and that's it. And people are like, oh, really? And they usually have a follow-up question after that. And it's more about the conversation that you're having rather than just like spilling out everything, because then they're going to be really scared and probably not answer you.
Right. Awesome. Okay. Brand rep. I love it. And especially, here's the way my brain was thinking is, I know you do a lot on Instagram. That's common on Instagram. Like,
yeah,
brand rep is a word on Instagram or a phrase that people can relate to, because there's people that are a brand rep for this clothing line with their kids, or they're a brand rep for this clothing line, they're a brand rep for this makeup line, whatever it is. So that's terminology on Instagram that is probably a lot more common for the person that you're talking to. So cool. I'm taking notes.
I know.
Okay.
I'm planning on just like watching it back because I was like too excited to take notes.
I'll definitely post it. So you got a question?
I have a little bit of a deeper question.
No.
We're going to get in there, but I need to know this too, because we're struggling as a team, I would say, the most with duplication, and we talked about that. And in order to have a successful team, we know that we need to have successful distributors and people that want this just as bad as us. So, or just as much as we want it for them, I should say. So one of the things we're wondering is, or one of the things I'd like you to just like touch on is, when you have at least one distributor, you're their leader, and you need to like make sure that you're acting as a leader, even if you only have one distributor, and really holding these people, locking arms with them and showing them, just like we do with our distributor, just like we did with all of you guys. So can you touch on like what that means and like how to make that duplication into, or that transition into signing up a distributor and then really being their leader, like the importance of that?
That's tough. Okay. A couple different things. Is one of the main things is we are so conditioned in reality to this whole boss employee mentality, right? That is what we all came out of. And so when we come into It Works and you're your own boss and you get to do kind of whatever you want, you have to recognize that that is actually going to freak some people out and they don't know what to do. And so when you sign a new person, you need to, I'm not saying be their boss, I'm not saying manage them, but you need to walk side by side and break down exactly what they need to do. But on top of that, you need to do the exact same thing with them so that they see, like, I will never, ever, 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 ever ask my team to do something that I'm not willing to do. And there's a lot of times that I'll be like, all right, let's go do this together. Brand new person, I will say, let's make this post. Let's talk about the messages. Let's do this, this, and this. Let me know when you're done. Or I'll say, I'm done. Are you done yet? No, you haven't. So we all talk about, we want that next rock star, right? I want the next Kim Chipak, however you say it. I want the next Kim Chipak to join my team. I want a Kim, I want a rock star. But you have to stop and you have to ask yourself, are you that rock star? Because you are the first person on your dream team, all right, period. And your team is going to replicate what you're doing. Your excitement, your passion, your positivity, your action. Not all of them are. And the ones that don't worry about it, okay? Focus on the ones that are, because those are the ones that are going to take you to the next level. I'm not saying give up on the ones that aren't, but you also, once you start growing a team, you have to know where to invest the majority of your time and your energy And I want to work with the people that are going to match my efforts, that have the same passion. But on the flip side of that is this easy is easy to come in and it's easy to go out, right? Especially as a distributor. I mean, you just fade away. There's not really anything, there's no penalties. There's nothing you have to do. You could easily fade away into the background. So it's easy to come in, $99. That's not that bad. And it's easy to go out because it is so low risk. You're going to always have this fluctuation. Something that you have to do and that you have to help your team do is see the vision and plant their flag and dig their roots deep. Because how many of you are reading the Chase the Lion book? Is anyone doing that book study right now? Okay. One of the things that says in there is that you're going to see God do his work when you plant yourself somewhere long enough. All right? And a year is not long enough. 2 years is not long enough. So you have got to decide. A lot of times when I bring distributors on with me, if I know that they can get there, I will say, give me 2 years. You can't quit on me for 2 years. You're not going to go anywhere. This is what we're going to do for 2 years. Because that's when you're going to start seeing things change your life. You're going to start really seeing those changes. And you have to set that expectation from the very beginning. But you can't ask, like I can't go, I'm going to just pick a name. Cassie. If I just had Cassie join me today, I can't say, hey, give me 2 years when I haven't told Kim yet, hey, I'm going to give you 2 years of my time. And so you've got to know that if they don't feel that you are in this for the long haul, they're not going to be in it for the long haul. There are different ones that come in and they break that mold, but like for the most, the person that enrolled me, not in it for the long haul. Person that enrolled Kim, not in it for the long haul. There's going to be these people that are not in it for the long haul, but the ones that are the ones that are going to stick with you through the good, the bad, the ugly, and they're not going to waver. Their action might not be the same, but they're not going to waver. And if you do this business long enough, if you are consistent, it's a joke, actually, that Alyssa, y'all know Alyssa Loynes and I have, because we've been in 5.5, almost 6 years. If we are in this long enough, we're going to make it to the Millionaires Club. There's just no way around it because it's going to just steadily get more and more every year. And if you're in it long enough, you're going to make $1 million in this business. There's going to be people that come in and do it in 2 years. There's going to be people that don't enter the Millionaires Club until year 7. But the bottom line is they entered the Millionaires Club, right? And so you have to help paint that picture for your team and be that person, the one that is always excited, always excited. After 5.5 years, it's not always exciting to get up and do the same things over and over and over again. But I have Tracy and Holly and Emily and these people that are still so excited. And if you are not excited for them on the day that they're excited, they're not gonna push for you and with you. That's the difference, is you want to push with them. I know that's really deep, but
no, it's true though, because you need to lead from the front, and that's kind of what I was hoping that you would say. Because I mean, I kind of know the answer to like that question a little bit, but sometimes it's nice to hear it from somebody that has been in a little bit longer and has been enrolling a lot of distributors. And some people enroll their first one and they quit, and then they're like, okay, I'm out. Nobody wants this. But look at all the people in here.
I added up the other day for someone, since I've started 5.5 years, I think I've signed over like 300 distributors, all right? Over 300 probably distributors, or about 300. I'm going to say that on a good day, I have 15 that are active, like really active, and about another 30 that are in and out. Okay, out of the 300. So if I would have quit when those first 95 that we talked about quit on me, you got to know that people come in and people go out. You have to make the decision that you're not going to be one of those people, especially when it gets hard. I mean, obviously you're not going to walk away when you're like making $10,000 a month, right? But if that $10,000 somehow falls to $3,000 and you think the sky is falling, it's really easy to walk out and not see it through. But people can pick up on that. My team knows I am not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm never going to leave. I am totally invested in it works. And the reason is you've got to find the reasons that you love it works. And we talked about this on some of your chats yesterday, is just always talk about the reasons you love it works, and you say it out loud and you share it with others and you post about it, because your subconscious is really weird, and it's really hard to walk away from something that you love and that you feel devoted to. Like, it's kind of like your spouse. It's really hard to do that. If all you were talking about your spouse, if you were walking around and be like, God, he's so filthy and he doesn't ever take off his shoes and he does this and he does that, this is what you're saying out loud. This is what you're telling your mind, right? And it's easier to walk away from that versus if you were walking around like, I love how he takes care of the kids. I love how he picks up my trash. I love how he surprised me with this. I love how he does that. If you're focusing on the positive and what you love, it's so much harder to walk away from when there is bad. And there's going to be bad. And so say these things out loud. Always talk about why you love it works, why you love our products. Don't ever give yourself, try not to ever, and I know it's human nature, but, and my team knows this a lot, I will stop conversation, like in my chats, I will pop in and I'll be like, all right, we're done talking about that. Tell me 3 things you love about it works. Because it's easy to go down the road of what's not happening and what's going wrong and what's frustrating you. And that makes it easy to walk away from stuff. And so your brain is like, wow, just toss, throw in the towel. That was a good run while it lasted, versus, but these are things that I really love. I love my team. I love the people. I love the friends. I love the freedom. I love the travel. I love the products. I love the heart of the company. I love that they give back. I love this. I love that. Just always tell yourself, remind yourself why you love it works. And if you don't have a reason, then we need to talk.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a soapbox moment. Sorry, again.
Okay.
All right.
We love it.
Got a question for you.
Okay.
What do you do for self-development daily? What are some of your resources?
Oh, I love this question, because this is like my favorite part about the business. It's the part that I have grown to like. I started like not liking it in the beginning. I brushed it off, and now it's like just a part of my life. So if you guys aren't doing, all right, hear me out. When I first started and I was told to do self-development, I was like, all right, like I like books, but I like books about stories, like, like I like the radio in the car, I like to sing in the car. I don't want to listen to whatever in Audible. I brushed it off for the longest time, guys. And can I just tell you that the second my business changed was when I started doing, no, I should say it the other way around. The second I started doing self-development was the second my business started to explode. So hear me out loud and clear. If you're not doing it yet, start tomorrow. Like, start first thing tomorrow morning. I make sure every morning that before I touch my phone, I at least pray, meditate, pick up a book and read like 2 pages of one of my self-development books. I'm looking at my stack of them right there on my dresser. There's so many. If you're just starting out, I recommend reading You Are a Badass. It's just light, and it's truth, and it's something that everybody needs to hear. It's kind of just like somebody putting you in your place. You might not agree with everything that they're saying, but it really gets your ego up if you're not feeling so confident yet and you just started the business and you're a little skeptical still. I loved that one. What else did I love? I listened to, now in the car, because I do a lot of traveling back and forth to Dan's house. I do a lot of Audible. So through Amazon, you can download the app Audible, and the books are just like $5. I think it's a lot cheaper to actually do that rather than get them on like the physical books. And now every time I get in the car, instead of throwing the radio on, I put on a self-development book, and it's just a lot easier. It's easier to tune out, and it gets me to point A to B faster, actually, because I'm actually growing my brain. And it's just crazy what self-development can do, because these are things that you know, there's a reason why there's only a small percentage of millionaires in the world that are taking up all the income in the United States. Like, there's a reason for that. And it's because people are actually pouring into themselves rather than listening to the people that are like telling them what to do with their job. So if you are going to be an entrepreneur, you need to fill your cup up every single day. It is so stinking important. Because if you have a team under you, or I shouldn't say under you, but if you're responsible for holding somebody's hand and showing them the way in this business, you need to make sure your cup is filled and that you can pour into them properly and give them the right verbiage. Guys, this helps with your conversations with your potentials too. It gives you the confidence to talk to them. So I like You Are a Badass is a good physical one I have over there. The Magic of Thinking Big is another really good one I loved. Anything about the law of attraction and The Secret. Yesterday I was having the worst day ever, like just physical anxiety. It was awful and it was so unwarranted, and I don't know why I was having it to the extent I did. But when I couldn't sleep last night, like I opened up The Secret. That's always like my go-to one because I just love the message in that. You know, what you think about, you bring about. Audibles, I've listened to GoPro. Love that one because it's directed specifically towards network marketers. And the Miracle Morning for marketers is a really good one too, because that teaches you how to get up and start your day intentionally rather than grabbing your phone and, you know, reading the negative feedback that like one of your distributors is giving you. Like, that's not how you want to start your day, by opening your phone and seeing a complaint, because that'll set the tone for the rest of your day. And it's so subconscious and you don't realize it, but it's like that thing when you get out of the bed and you stub your toe, like for whatever reason the rest of your day just like bad events keep happening. That's why you want to start your day with a positive mindset. So that's why I don't even grab my phone unless I've prayed or read self-development before doing that, so that when I am ready to start my business and open my doors to my business and, you know, pour into my team, I'm ready. Like I am mentally ready to handle anything that comes my way. So guys, grow your mind. Your business won't grow if your mind does not grow. It's so, so important.
I agree 1,000%. And I've always been a nerd. And one thing that I love about our company leadership, Mark, they push books out to us to read that are not network marketing books. They are leadership books. They are growing yourself as a person, because they go outside of industry. Because why always just focus on inside of industry when there are so many things that you can bring from the outside in? And I will say this is a hint for not the people that are on my team, because they kind of already know this. I can almost, I don't know the percentage, but I can almost pretty much tell if someone is going to last in this business based on if they are doing any sort of personal development or not. If we recommend this book, this book, this book, this book, and I ask them, hey, what was the last book you read or listened to? And they go, I don't like reading, I don't like listening, I don't want to do any of that. The subconscious is not getting worked on, and it is not helping you go through the storms that are going to come, but they are going to come, and you're not growing. You're not growing yourself. And if you're not growing yourself, you're not going to grow your business.
And it sounds so fluffy, because like when I first started and I was like listening to a Zoom just like this, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I'm going to go put on my TV show, or, you know, fold my laundry without listening to anything at all. Like, I just need peace and quiet. But something about it, guys, and it's like untouchable. I don't even know what to say, but you just have to do it. And that's when honestly, that's when my business exploded out of my own hands. Like, you know, the business was effortless after that, almost, because I was so confident in myself and I was just a better person to boot. So my whole team caught on to that, and they felt me wanting it for them, and they felt me being genuine in my actions, and nothing about it was selfish. So I don't know, just got to do it. Do it. There's a billion books out there you can go do. You know, go to Audible and just search self-development or entrepreneurial self-development or something like that.
Search in the Lubbock page for books, and you will, I know on my team page I have a list of books, my favorite books. Here's the other cool thing. The more that you're reading, like I write so many notes, and there are a couple that I go back and read over and over. the more that you read when you're talking to someone on your team or one of your leaders, and you start hearing the same struggle or something, you can easily say, hey, I need you to read this book. I promise this book is for you, that there are some answers in here that will help you. And if you hadn't read them and you didn't, and not every book is for each person. That's the other thing, is so many of these books, like I read some of them and I will read it and then I'll give it to someone and say, I read this, I thought of you, you need to read it. Or talking through, I see Holly on here, we were talking about something and I'm like, well, y'all just read this book. I think this is a book that you need to read. And you can't be that leader if you're not doing it yourself. Or here's a podcast that I just listened to. Y'all listen to this. So-and-so listen to this. So anyway, that's a whole other week. I could talk about that forever.
I know, me too, because it's like it became my favorite part. Like I just grown so much as a person the past 2 years because of it, thanks to the business. So, okay, so here's a question on a little bit of a lighter side. So what is the best way about following up with somebody who keeps telling you they're interested, but they still keep giving you the same response? Like, how do you not come off annoying?
Okay, so I have a really good way of doing this, and you have to remind the people that you are a human, because people can be so mean, and usually there is something going on in their life that they just don't want to talk about. That's what it comes down to. And so, but you also have to be prepared for the answer. That's the other thing. If you're not prepared for the answer, don't say something like this. I will message him and be like, hey, Holly girl, 6 messages ago, you were ready to sign up as a distributor or as a loyal customer or whatever, whatever it is. And I am starting to feel really annoying, but I also want to do my job of following up with you. If you are no longer interested, please just let me know. I can handle it. It's okay. I understand. But let me know so that I cannot feel like a crazy person for the rest of my life or whatever it is. And what that's doing is it's acknowledging that you're human. Like, come on, do not, this is rude, answer me in a way. It's also giving them an out. Like, just tell me no, it's fine. I can handle it. I will put you on my don't follow up list. Whatever it is, it's fine. I won't keep bugging you. And there, 1 or 2 or 3 things usually happen. One is they're going to keep ignoring you. And if they ignore that message, then I'm like, all right, cool, you're off my list. I don't hold on to my list like it's my freaking bloodline, it's fine, whatever, you're off my list. If they don't respond, you're going to know to take them off your list. Or they're going to respond and they're going to lay it out for you and tell you what's changed, what's going on. Like, my husband just lost his job. We can't, whatever it is. And so you could have that conversation. Or they're going to say, I am so sorry. I don't want you to feel like that. I'm just not interested anymore. Or I am interested. Sorry you felt like that, whatever it is. But when you bring it back down to this human level, don't make it salesy. Just be honest with them. Like, I'm starting to feel annoying. I feel ridiculous. You were interested, so I feel like I need to follow up with you. A lot of my job is customer service, but you're not responding to me. So did I make you mad? Are you not interested anymore? If you're not interested, just tell me no. It's okay. I can handle it. And just bring it back to that human level and put it back on them. And it's not in a sales way. Like, you're not saying, hey girl, I'm sitting down at my computer about to place orders. Do you want me to place yours for you? They've already gotten that message from you, right? They've already gotten the sales message of following up. So this is completely different, but you got to be prepared for the answer. Like, oh, they're no longer interested. Take that off my list. So that's my answer to your question.
Yeah, I love that, because I mean, mine would be very similar, my answer to that question, to just be blunt. I mean, I'm not scared anymore, because what I used to do is hold on to my list, like you said, like my bloodline. I used to hold on to it, and I was like, okay, these people will eventually sign up. And I really thought that every person that was interested was eventually going to sign up within like that month or even that year, right? But it's just so much, you take so much more pressure off yourself when you know the answer is no longer, and you could just move on and go find somebody else that wants it more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Do we have time for like a quick one more each?
Yeah, let's do one more each. Okay.
We'll
Well,
make it quick, guys. I promise.
how you organize yourself. You already told us you're not organized, so we'll skip that
Yeah,
one.
I mean, yeah, I'm not that organized.
It's you don't have to be. I mean, it helps, but you don't have to be. What? Okay, here's okay. Did you, when you started, did you just hit the ground running, or was there a turning point where you made changes? If so, what did you realize you were doing wrong, and then how did you fix it?
Okay. To answer this really quickly, I did hit the ground running. Like, I saw that girls on, my uplines team, like my sidelines, were going triple in under a year, and I wanted that kind of money. Like, I didn't join for an extra $300 to $500. I joined to do this full time and to kind of prove everybody wrong. So I knew that it was going to take work, and I knew it wasn't going to be immediate, but I knew that if I worked my gosh dang hardest, that it would come faster. So that's what I did. I hit the ground running, and I committed myself. And that's how I got to Diamond in 4 months. I mean, post message follow up. That's it. Post message follow up every single day. I didn't make any excuses. I was busy as heck, but I didn't make any excuses. I stayed up late. I woke up early, and I committed myself, and it paid off. So you have to kind of make that decision whether you're all in or you're not all in. So I was all in. I loved it, and I had so much fun. I loved the products, and I fell in love with them, and I just loved sharing it with everybody, especially when I got to Diamond, because I saw that kind of money, and I was like, wow, if I can do this, then anybody can do this. Because honestly, I didn't have extensive sales experience. I didn't even like my sales job. I was so bad at it, to be honest. Like, I'm surprised they didn't fire me. But I'm just not a salesy person. But what I will tell you is that I've been at Double Diamond over a year now, and it's been very difficult for me because I joined to go triple. I joined to make a six-figure income, and I felt like six figures would really prove my friends and family wrong. I haven't hit that five-figure income. Like, I haven't hit 10,000 and above yet. I'm so close, but that's what I joined for, guys. So it's been hard this past year for me because I'm trying to find people that are ready to run just like I did. And now I have my girls, and I know their flags are planted, and we're ready to run, and we're doing this year. But the turning point that I had to kind of rather like stay steady at double or really push for triple, it all came down to myself and my mindset. Back to the mindset, guys. I told myself, last month we had a contest amongst the leaders where if we got 20 enrollments, we got rewarded with something. And I woke up the first of the month, and I've never gotten close to 20 enrollments before, but it was all in my mind. I was like, okay, I see girls getting 50 enrollments. Like, if they can do it, I can do it. And I bulleted it out, and I looked at it every single day, and it bothered me when it wasn't filled out. And I told myself every morning that I'm going to help somebody grow their hair out. I'm going to go find somebody that isn't comfortable with their stretch marks, exposed. I'm going to find somebody that doesn't, that's afraid to put shorts on because they have cellulite on their legs for the summer. Like, I'm going to help people. And when you shift your mind like that, and you really just commit in your mind that you can do literally anything you want, it'll happen. So now I've come to this point where I know I can do anything because other people are doing it. And when you commit to that in your mind, it's crazy what the world brings back to you. And I'm not a fluffy person, guys, I promise, but it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's kind of the shift. It's all in the mind. If you keep focusing on, I can't find a distributor, I can't find a runner. Well, you know what? You're probably not going to because you have a shitty mindset. You got to be positive. You have to wake up and be like, somebody needs this opportunity. Somebody needs it. Somebody needs it more than I've ever needed it. And I'm going to go find them. And you will.
So something that you said, and we talked about this on for my team knows this. I don't know if Kim knows this. Ashley has her 9 top leaders together, and we have this prayer thing that we're doing. We get together with threes, and we get on a Zoom, and we pray for our teams, our leaders, our people, our company. We pray for everything. Something that we talked about, and this is something that you hit on. When Kim came in, she saw these girls moving fast. moving fast, getting to diamond, double, triple, fast, right? So she knew that this was possible and this was a reality. So she went after it. There is this urgency that was on that team at that moment. Right now, and I've had this talk with my leaders, right now, we don't have that urgency. So we bring someone in. If we brought Kim in right now, we're going to just hypothetically, if we brought Kim in right now, she would probably not move as fast as she did when she first started because she's not seeing that. So we as leaders, even if we don't have that crazy momentum going in, like if it's really not going on, you've got to fake it. Somehow we have got to fake it. We've got to figure that out, because you're going to have that person that's coming in your business tomorrow, and they potentially could be the person that goes ambassador in a year. But because they don't see anything like that happening around them, they will not believe it's possible. So there has to be this balance of, we have our flags planted, we have the vision, we're not going anywhere. We know if it takes us a while to get there, that's okay. We have got to somehow switch our mindset to have this long-term vision with urgency and get there as fast as we can, so that the people that come in have that and they see that and they're like, all right, I'm going. Because we want that person to come in and go, right? We've all been like, I can just have the person come in and go diamond in 3 days, like the girl that just came in and went diamond in 3 days, right? If I could have her come in and go diamond in 3 days, then everything would be okay. Well, she might be coming in tomorrow, but she's not going to see speed. She's not going to be around speed, so she's not going to end up going diamond in 3 days. So when Kim started, she had that going on around her. Now I'm kind of preaching, but this is just more, this is part of the mind game, the subconscious thing, the way people work is when they're coming in and they're brand new, they might not know that it's okay to go diamond in 3 days. They might think that it's like frowned upon because no one's doing it, or this is not okay. And, or they might not even believe that it's possible because they don't see it. So you've got to make sure that when you bring in new people, you help them see that they can get there as fast as they can and they want. And somehow we have to create this excitement and urgency collectively as a group, so that when
and it kind of just starts with one person. Now, I don't mean to cut you off, but I mean, like, if you're as excited as I am right now, because I'm like, we don't have people exploding, you know, right. But I'm still really excited. Like, if you can just catch like a little sprinkle of that and just know that you can do anything, like you literally can. You can wake up tomorrow and be like, okay, I'm committing myself to this business and my goals, and I want this more than, you know, watching my TV shows, or more than, you know, doing laundry every day. Like, I'm going to skip 3 days of laundry, you know, and just commit yourself. You can do it. It's so simple. Business is so simple, and we don't want to overcomplicate it. And, you know, I think that's really important, because we tend to overcomplicate things when we don't see fast success. But when it comes down to it, Caitlin seriously is exploding. I just saw she really, really is. But I don't know. We just overcomplicate things, and we get paid to do two things: put customers in the computer and put distributors into the computer. And I mean, that's kind of it. If you can do that, then you're golden. You figure out your groove with that.
I agree. One more?
If you want. I mean, you guys can hop off if it's getting late for you, but I'm going to ask Tammy one more question. It's recorded, so you could always watch this later. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about real quick. Can we talk about being transparent in our posts, like how not to copy and paste other people's posts and stuff, and yes. You know, just be real, because people will attract, you know. Because I love the way your posts. I feel that you post, it's like very creative, and you know, I never see you copying and pasting other people's posts.
It's very rare that I do, because it's just people know. Like, I have a girl on my team right now. She's a leader on my team that I am about to have a conversation with. I went and stalked her today. And when she started and she was exploding and she was moving fast, her posts were original. They were her. You could tell that it was her behind the computer screen writing them. And probably the last 4 months, it's nothing but copy and paste and posted things that I'm like, that is not you. That is not your voice. And people know that. So with that, people buy you before they buy the products or the company. You have to remember that. We have amazing products. We have an amazing compensation plan, but they don't care. They care about you. They're buying you. They're buying how you present the products. They're buying your personality, if you're authentic, if you're fake. They're buying if they relate to you, if they don't. So with that said, if you are copying and pasting posts, they're not seeing the real you. They have got to be able to relate to you on some level, because they're buying you. Like I say, they're buying you before they're buying a product or the opportunity. And so there's two things that I do before I post. And I got one of these from Melissa. When I am posting, usually about the business or the opportunity, I have one specific person in mind, and I am making that post for them. Now, it's not like, hey, Kim, do you see this post? Because I think blah, blah, blah. But like I have a girl that is on my dream team, and she makes 6 figures a month. She's already successful in her job. So if I'm making a post, I'm like, I know that some of you you may already make 6 figures a year. I know that you have no time, blah, blah, blah. You see, like I'm talking about it, but it's just planting that seed, and it's real and it's authentic. And the other thing that I do is before I press post, right? I press post is I ask myself, if Mark Pentecost saw this, would he be proud of me, or will he roll his eyes at this? And if it's copy and pasted, he's gonna be like, oh, not another one. Right? That's kind of the way that I do, because ultimately he is the man that signs my paychecks, and he's a good man. He is a great man, and his heart is gold. I want to make him proud, and I want to make the company proud. So when I press post, am I going to make him proud, or is it going to be something that he's like, this is what is wrong right now with my team on social media. This is spammy. So that's what I do. I have these two things in mind. One, usually a particular person, and two, if Mark Pentecost saw this, how would he respond to it? And that will really put you in check. It really does, because if you know you copied it and pasted it from Joe Schmo, and they probably copied and pasted it from someone, and they copied and pasted it from someone, and they copied it and pasted it from someone, you know that it's not going to be something that he's like, way to go, team, you know? And I'm saying there's sometimes that it's okay, but I usually will save some of them and do it like 4 or 5 days later. If everyone is doing like the, hey, anyone trying to grow your hair out, or at the end of the month, whatever it is, I'll save it for another time and I'll reword it. But you've got to be you. And copying and pasting is not you, and you're not being real, and that is only going to get you so far. That's only going to get you so far. You have to create original content so that your audience starts learning who you are, because if they join you as a customer or a distributor, and then they learn who the real you is, and this isn't what you're doing, and they're going to feel duped, first of all, and then they might not trust you. And so that's my 2 cents on it all. It is rare. And it goes back to the things that we talked about that we love. And I think it was in your chat or in one of the chats. So we were talking about, you stick to the things you love. People know if they come to my page that I'm going to talk about my kids, I'm going to talk about my faith, I'm going to talk about my Dr. Pepper or soda, I'm going to talk about Dos Equis, like, these are the things that they know. And if I post them, they know that I'm a hot mess. If I go and post a picture of Alyssa, Billy, or Kim all cute and their socks all pretty and done up with their coffee mug, they're going to be like, you don't drink coffee? Like, you know, these are things you want to do it. You want to make sure that it's you. And if a picture is amazing, but it's not you, don't post it. People are going to be like, whatever. That's not Tammy sitting there with that coffee mug. She got that off Pinterest or something like that.
All right, sorry, had to unmute myself. I think that goes hand in hand with, you know, your brand, you know, thinking about the things that, like Tammy said, you need to be transparent when it comes to your life now. I mean, hey, your storefront is on social media. Like, you need to really sell yourself before selling the products. And It kind of sounds weird and not okay, but you need to just like create your brand and not only post about it works, because that's, you know, you want your profile to be a cohesive version of yourself. Like when you open up your Instagram, you want it to be like, okay, this is Kim. It's not just like Kim's It Works page, or, you know, she's not just trying to sell me on an opportunity and product. Like she's implementing this into her life. Like clearly she likes it, you know, and then that'll make people see that it can be put into their life as well. And they don't need to be a walking billboard for this company. They can do it and be a normal person too, because the people, Tammy's a top income earner. You look at the top income earners and everybody's so different. Why not you?
Seriously.
Why not you?
So different. Everyone is so different. You have people that have, 30,000 followers on Instagram, and people
who don't even use Instagram sometimes.
Right. And it's so different. People that look amazing, their makeup is always done, and people that are like, this is as good as it gets. We're good. We have life going on.
Yeah.
So it takes all kinds. But does anyone have any? You want to open questions?
Open it up. I mean, if you guys need to log off because it's late, that's fine. Well, but if you have any questions, I mean, I'm a night owl, so.
Maybe not. Maybe. All right. No one, they just don't want to ask questions, and it's okay. All right. So thank you guys for joining. I will get the recording up and we could share it with everyone that couldn't join us. And I love the different perspectives. Thank you, Kim, for jumping on and doing this for our teams. It's exciting. Oh,
wait. Exciting. Yes, defining gel is good for sunburn, girl. Lather up. I love it. Thank you.
Are you
so
sunburned right now?
You guys rock. Big things ahead. Okay, guys.
Bye.